How y'all doing tonight? I gotta start this video with a shout out for my wife. She worked very hard on doing some medical coding, and she got her first certificate in November. And today she went in and completed her test and passed it for her second certification, which is a CCA certification, which is a very difficult one to get. She only had 2 hours to do the test and she passed it with flying colors. So, shout out to my wife. She is fantastic. To celebrate, we went and did a little bit of lunch, enjoyed our evening together, and ended up going to church tonight. And while we were at church, the preacher, he was talking about people actually going through life semi asleep because they might be going through the motions. However, they're not really awake with what they're doing. It's something that got me kind of thinking about the type of things that we actually deal with when we're trying to get people to understand investing and, changing that mindset. And it seemed to me that so many people go through life without really much of a plan other than wanting to, okay, they want to buy a house or, they want to have a decent job or whatever. But beyond that, it's usually all about doing things like, maybe watching football on Sunday or, having drinks with their friends or things like that. They don't really make a plan for what comes after. And that's why I harp so much on doing a budget and, getting things together. So at least you know where you're at with your finances and trying to, make some improvements there. Even if it's not big improvements, anything helps. And that makes a big difference down the road when you're wanting to actually buy a house and start gaining some assets. So when you start looking at that budget and getting it put together where you got a baseline to work off of, there's somewhere you can actually improve, whether it's, maybe not going and buying that video game or getting the nails done or, you know, things of that nature. Maybe you don't have to buy the fancy car. You can keep the beater that you got and just kind of limp it along for a while so you're not into those big high expenses for your monthly budget. Because at the end of the day, all the talk about appreciation, all the talk about, making some big gains and what have you, really don't mean nearly as much as the monthly bills that you have all the time, because that's what's in your face day to day. So, when people talk about, just getting by, well, are they doing anything to change that? I kind of think that many times they aren't. They're living off of, words like manifestation or hopium, or going to the wishing well. Those types of things don't really work. Okay, you got to have a plan. You got to put your stuff together where you've got priorities and goals, and you got to work at this stuff every single day. It's boring. There's nothing fun about it. Okay, it is literally just a grind, and you got to have that motivation to get you started. But it's the discipline of doing it day in and day out that is going to make a difference for you. So just as an example, this week at work, I didn't have a lot going on as far as projects. I was jumping in on everybody else's projects and trying to give them a hand because, when I went to my lead and my director, they told me that I've already accomplished all of the elements that I need to make for my yearly review, and that other people in the department hadn't gotten that far yet, and we needed to give them projects so they could make sure that they hit their elements as well. So instead of, sitting around doing nothing, I went out and hustled up some projects so that we could get those guys all settled in and get their elements completed. And I volunteered to go and be on a review panel so that we can get a new person hired for a supervisory job at the base. And that's something I've never done before, so that was pretty cool. And then our training department was looking for some feedback on some classes that they had started, and I went and volunteered and went and gave them some feedback on some presentations they were doing. So I just don't like being stagnant. I want to always be trying to improve and continue moving forward. And the more I do that kind of stuff, the better off I feel with getting promotions. I went from being a heavy equipment mechanic working on tanks to working in a department that's called continuous process improvement, where we use lean six sigma principles to help other departments improve their processes and try to make things more lean so that they're more effective. Today I was over here at the Airbnb. I was cleaning up on the hot tub. I was trying to help out the cleaner by giving her a hand getting things cleaned up. And since we didn't actually have a guest tonight, I thought it'd be nice for us to stay here tonight. So I'm sitting out at the fire pit, and I thought I'd make a video for you guys. But back to the, people walking through life, semi asleep. You got to have dreams, and without those dreams and you know all of the goals that people need so that they have that satisfaction in their life. You're basically just a tax robot going through life and doing a whole lot of nothing but working for the man, and you know feeding your taxes in, and maybe you have a little bit of fun on the weekends here and there, but you're never going to get ahead. You're going to end up, maybe you've got a 401k or something that might help you out with retirement, but most of the time people are changing jobs every 2 to 3 years, and what are they doing with that 401k? They cash that thing in because it doesn't really have that much money, and they'd rather have the money so they can buy another car, or pay off a credit card, or go on a vacation, something like that. So they get to the end of their life, and most people, they might have a retirement program at their work, but they don't have enough in it to really make a difference when it comes to retirement. So they end up being Walmart greeters. I don't want to have that kind of life, so I'm trying to make a difference. I've made a whole bunch of mistakes, and I had a couple divorces that really set me back to less than zero, and I had to make some choices. I'm getting too old to try to reset again, so I'm kind of going for broke, and I'm going all in on the real estate. Doing I've got a duplex that I house hacked, which I find is one of the most important things you can do to change your finances, is get rid of that biggest bill in your life, which is your housing. And I've got a renter living in one side that pays the mortgage, and I live in the other side for free. The other thing I do is I don't have any car payments whatsoever. All of my vehicles are paid off, and they're all older, and of course I have to work on them here and there, but they're all pretty decent vehicles. So I just keep those instead of buying a high dollar truck or something like that. That's anywhere from 50,000 on up to $100,000. I'm just not going to spend that kind of money on a vehicle. So I got I've been in that duplex for about 13 years now, and I took the money out of the duplex to buy the Airbnb. So I did a cash out refi on it, and pulled out enough money so I could do a down payment, do the renovations, all the closing costs, and purchase enough furniture and things like that that you need to furnish the Airbnb and get it all set up. And I ended up having to buy a hot tub for it as well. So that was hitting the reserves pretty hard, but it's really worked out for me, because I'm not just setting up an Airbnb and hitting the easy button every single day. I'm actually studying the market. I'm studying things to improve the Airbnb. I study the tech stack that other people are using, how they're doing marketing, how you're getting together direct booking sites and things of that nature, and trying to really concentrate on giving the guests the best experience they could possibly have so that I have high reviews and people want to keep coming back. So I'm up to about 130 reviews now with a 4.9 average. So we're doing pretty good at the Airbnb. It made some decent money last year. You know, nothing fantastic, but a little over $1,000 a month in profit. And so far this year, it's exceeding that. So we'll see what the year end ends up at. In addition, we got tax season coming up, so I've been working on the taxes, trying to get all that good stuff done. But you know, at the end of the day, if you're not putting together a plan and actually trying to complete different steps for that every single day, you're wasting time. And that's one of the few resources that is very finite. You're only going to have so much, and we never know when it's going to end. So, you know, try to work that plan every day. And you know, don't live off of manifestation or hopium, you know, because that's just never going to get you anywhere. You got to put together a plan, start executing that plan, and you know, stop wasting so much time on the screen and start learning. You know, do the education, do videos like this, you know, start building your network, talk to other people, get some ideas, and find a strategy that's really going to work for you. You know, some folks like Bitcoin, some people like, you know, the stock market, other people like the real estate, and you know, yet others like to do their own business. All of those are great plans. I just happen to choose doing real estate, and quite frankly, doing the Airbnb is less about real estate and it's more about a hospitality business. But it's still, you know, something I'm choosing to make good plans to move myself forward. And I've got a plan of only 6 years left working at the base before I want to retire. So in that amount of time, I want to get at least another one or two properties to help out with that retirement, make sure things work out much better. So I hope you all have a great night. Make sure you're getting some plans together, get some baselines together, start learning. Don't be the sleeper. Let that sleeper awaken and actually do something. Get off your butt and actually move out there and, you know, gets that forward progress. It makes a big difference in your life. It gets you a lot of satisfaction. And, you know, when you're actually trying to get things moving for your family and for yourself, knowing you've got a brighter future, it feels very good. So I hope you all have a great night. We'll talk to you next time.